Hi witches! So today we're going to be chatting all about the new moon in Aries. So this new moon is going to be occurring on Friday, April 1st, but if you are in the Pacific time zone or whatever, PST, it might actually be on the evening of the 31st. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm personally going to be hosting a live ritual for my patrons over on Patreon at 8 p.m. EST on April 1st, just because that is what works the best for me. And this is also well within the phase of the new moon as well. So everyone can like open themselves up to that energy. It's going to be so amazing. The ritual is open to all levels of practitioners in terms of experience as well as any paths. I try to keep things as non-denominational as possible, and it's a great time to join my Patreon because it's the first of the month. But anyways, today I wanted to chat about some of the correspondences and how we as witches, as practitioners, can celebrate the new moon. So I see like a lot of really great videos about the astrology and what that might mean for your sign, but I don't see a lot of videos talking about what you can do like magically to celebrate this. And me being in the celebrating kind of mood and taking any excuse to be super witchy, that is what I'm all about. So like I said prior, this new moon is in the sign of Aries. So Aries is a fire sign. It is associated with courage, optimism, determination, impulsivity, and action. If you have Aries in your chart anywhere, you might exhibit some of those traits, especially if it's your sun sign or rising sign. However, it can affect your different like houses and different signs. It's very interesting stuff. Now, even if we're not specifically in Aries, we can embody those qualities and embrace that energy of the season. So Aries season started around the spring equinox. It is the first sign of the zodiac, meaning that this new moon is especially great for beginning new ventures. And in addition to this, because Aries is that first sign of the zodiac, it's really a moon that's going to set the tone for the year ahead. So consider the things that you want to achieve in the year ahead. What work have you already done for yourself? Kind of what's your next step? What do you need help getting motivated to do? What personal goals are you committing to? And what new things you would like to try? With the spring equinox, we cleared out our spaces to invite in this new energy. And this is the time, and we did a lot of this during the full moon as well, I believe. And this is the time and place to do it during this new moon. It's time to generate a lot of that major energy for ourselves, to draw on that energy of fire, of creation, of optimism, of determination, everything that is associated with Aries, the ram, right? So we are really just empowering that like strong-headed, strong-willed, like I'm gonna do this because I deserve it and this is the best thing for me. Let's talk about some things you can do to celebrate and really maximize the energy of this new moon. The first thing that I really recommend doing is engaging with fire magic. So this can be having a bonfire in your backyard or focusing on that element of fire in the ritual space, maybe having all of your herbs and crystals associated with fire. I personally will be doing some candle magic, which is what we'll be doing over on Patreon, kind of a creativity spell, a inner flame spell. I also recommend engaging with something either really creative that day or maybe doing a spell to help you boost that creativity. So looking up some herbs and crystals maybe, figuring out what avenue that you want to take in terms of like, are you going to do fire magic? Is it going to be a spell jar? Like all that kind of stuff. Get creative with it. That's awesome. And I support you in whatever you decide to do. Next, in terms of the home and the hearth, Friday is going to be a great time to raise energy in the home. So this can be through sound cleansing, maybe through some mindful movement. So this could be you turning on your favorite playlist and dancing around the house, maybe carrying some incense with you, doing some all-powerful cleansing, right? And getting yourself ready for kind of either the lunar cycle ahead, the year ahead, whatever you need to prepare yourself for. Alternatively, beyond that, if you are not interested in that, having some chimes and bells maybe throughout the house, doing some sound cleansing that way, just really stirs everything up. And this can really raise the energy for a spell, which is amazing if you are already using fire magic, which is a very energetic form of magic. Next, even though we are talking about the moon, I recommend connecting with the sun a little bit. Again, it's that association with fire. You might want to consider making some solar water, which is associated with positivity, creativity, abundance, motivation, movement, energy. Basically everything that is associated with Aries, I very much associate with the sun. Now, to make solar water, it is very similar to how you make moon water in that you are charging your vessel under the light of the sun. You might also want to consider making a sun tea, which is when you take basically like a jar or a container of any kind. You add your tea, maybe add some fresh fruit and stuff and some water and let it infuse over like a couple hours. I tend to do 2 or 3 depending on what it all is going in it. And then you can drink that. It's super good, really good iced. I tend to do it during Letha. But this is also a really great time to do that. And like by proxy, you're already making solar water just from making that tea. So there's like a 2-in-1 combo. Love it. If none of that's accessible to you because you are unfortunately in the broom closet, which my heart goes out to you, I totally understand. I was there for years before I was able to kind of fully express my witchiness, so there's no shame in it. But maybe consider wearing colors associated with fire: red, orange, yellow, gold, and even dark blue, I would say, for like the base of the flame. And this is a really great way because no one's really gonna question why you're wearing that specific color unless you're like me and only wear black. I recommend, if that is like the one thing that you can do that day, it's just wonderful and it's for you. And I think that is just special in and of itself. So I fully support all of that. If you are a kitchen witch, maybe consider making a special meal with like spicy or fiery flavors, maybe smoky flavors, or if it's warm enough where you are, consider grilling. That element of fire is very much associated with creation and transmutation, so you can kind of see that transformative aspect when it comes to cooking things, and it goes from inedible to yummy and delicious, right? Your altar, you might want to have symbols of Aries, such as the ram, or maybe images of the constellation if you are a celestial witch. Maybe using crystals like carnelian, red jasper, pyrite, gold, tiger's eye, anything that's really associated with the sun, fire, whatever works the best for you. And then finally, try using herbs in your spell work such as cinnamon, basil, rosemary, ginger, turmeric, peppers, anything spicy. Also, because this is associated with creativity, if you are able to, and I'm saying this with a caveat, make sure it's legal. Because of the great focus on creativity, if you are someone who has access to cannabis in a legal way, you might want to consider what that herb can bring into your practice. So that's all I'm going to say. I would love to talk about canna witchcraft. I just don't know how much I can say on YouTube, so that might be a Patreon thing. But I would love to talk about it because I have a lot of thoughts. But yes, so those are just some ways that you can kind of connect back with the new moon. Again, I will be having a live ritual for my patrons, and there is a replay. So if you aren't able to join us at 8 p.m. EST, you can watch it either later or you can't watch it before, so you can watch it a little bit later on or at your leisure. So yes, that is just some of my thoughts about the new moon. I am learning, like, this is really helping me learn astrology, which is awesome. So I'm so thankful for that. And if you guys like these, let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.